Chapter 8. Great-Gran didn't die. She didn't get completely better. She spent 3 months learning how to walk again. She had to use a stick and went very, very slowly with a bad limp. One arm wouldn't work properly anymore, so for a little while she had to have her food cut up. I did it for her very neatly. I did her hair too, and helped her with her stockings, and did her shoes up for her with tidy bows. Great-Gran didn't need any further help with talking though. For the first few days in hospital, she got her words jumbled up and didn't always make sense, but by the time she was ready to come home, she talked perfectly. She talked too much, telling the doctors and nurses what to do. They didn't always like it. Great-Gran didn't care. Sometimes she got very cross indeed and told them just what she thought of them. "Can't you keep your grandmother under control?" one nurse said to Sam. Sam rolled his eyes in a funny way to show this was completely impossible. He tried asking Great-Gran not to be so rude. Great-Gran was very rude indeed to Sam. I couldn't help getting the giggles. "I think you should try to be Great-Granny Zipmouth," I said. Sam and Mum and Rory and Jake and the nurse all gasped, but Great-Gran didn't get cross with me. "You're a sparky girl, little Lizzie," she said. "You take after me." She forgot she's not my real Great-Gran, but she's definitely part of my family. She still tells me off sometimes though, now she's back in her flat. I don't really mind. It's because she gets tired out now, as one of her legs doesn't work properly. She doesn't like walking very, very slowly with a limp, but she can go very, very fast when she's outside because she's now got one of those electric scooters to get her to the shops and back. Rory and Jake think Great-Gran's scooter's seriously cool. They keep begging Great-Gran to let them drive it, but she won't hear of it. But guess what? When Sam takes me round to Great-Gran's after school, Great-Gran and I sometimes go on secret trips down to the antique centre to see if there's any more dolls that Great-Gran wants to buy. Sometimes I skip along beside Great-Gran. Sometimes I get to sit right on her lap and drive too. We bought a beautiful big china doll the other day. She's got a pink dress and a white pinafore with tiny pink embroidered roses on it. We gave her a tea party with Alice and Sophie and Charlotte and Edward and Clementine when we got her home. "But she's not going to live in the trunk with them," said Great-Gran. "We'll have to get your dad to build her a special shelf." "My dad?" Then I realised she meant Sam. "He's good at making shelves," I said. "He's made special little shelves for all my mum's CDs. Great-Gran snorted. She still isn't all that keen on my mum. Mum isn't all that keen on Great-Gran, come to that. It doesn't matter. I can like them both, and Rory, and Jake, and even Sam, sometimes. They all like me too, especially Great-Gran. What are we going to call the new doll?" "I've got a good name for a rosebud." "No, I've chosen a name already. I'm naming her after someone very special," said Great-Gran. Who? "You sound like an owl. Don't shout, dear. First you creep round and we can't get a squeak out of you, and now you start shouting at the top of your voice. Calm down. I'm going to call the doll Elizabeth." "Elizabeth?" I said. "Hey, that's my name, even though everyone calls me Lizzie." "Well, I never," said Great-Gran, and her blue eyes gleamed. I gave her a great big grin, my mouth totally unzipped.